Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a short trade here on gold if we can get triggered in at 1371.1, which is my entry trigger short. Now we're cycling off of the range, and that's really the big clue here. We fell off of the range highs with very obvious rejection. So this obvious rejection tells us one big thing. We should be cycling back to the lows. Kind of common sense, right? Buy low, sell high, and right now we're not low yet, so we need to be selling until we get low, and then we can begin buying again. So a sell at 1371.1 after seeing the buyers falling apart after this big bear spike down. Really what I'm looking for is for them to complete the job, right? If we are looking at a smaller range, then we did technically complete the job. But the fact that we cycled off the highest point of the range really kind of tells us that we should be looking for the larger range below for the logical area of support and resistance. So because of that, I'm going to be jumping in here short. Let me get my stop in place. There we go. Oop. One too many. Now, the target for this is going to be back down to the range lows, and that's just the logical location that we're looking for. So we're going to go up ahead of that by a little bit. 68.9 is going to be the objective, and we're going to look to take 3 off at that point. So overall, really beautiful in just a well-defined range. Kind of tough not to see this one. But with this range, you have to be paying attention to smaller ranges, which can have an effect like we had here. But when they start breaking down, like we saw back here, they broke above here, they're likely going to go to the next overall range, which are going to be the extremes that we have here and here. Now, the other nice thing about this is this low back here at, well, yesterday afternoon, that formed a double bottom. And that double bottom a lot of times will act as a magnet, especially with a high side failure. And again, it's a range. So selling high, buying low. We're looking to buy low for our profit target in this case, but essentially it's the exact same thing. We're just waiting for the sellers to finish the job, drive the market back down towards the lows, and get that objective down to the overall range lows now below us, right around 68.6. Seeing the buyers trying to make an attempt off of this low, and again, this is likely the intermediary low that we have down here where we're starting to see some buying pressure coming in. This is the same place that we saw this big bear candle kind of stop in its tracks. So because of that, just in case they want to cycle it off of this intermediary low back to the highs, I want to reduce some of the risk. So my stop is going to lock down to 71.6. I'm not going to put the stop to break even yet because I don't want to choke the trade out, but it does make sense to reduce a little bit of the risk just in case they do end up wanting to hold here at around that 69.5 area. Now, if the sellers do still want it, we should be able to see them follow this move up, and that is what we're seeing right now. They pushed up, buyers likely jumped in on that smaller range, and now their stops are probably going to fuel the move down to the bigger range, which is sort of ironic because that's selling into the lows, right? Their sell stops are at the lows of the move, and that is exactly where they should not be selling. That is where they should be buying, but we can use their sell stop orders, the buyers getting stopped out, to fill our target. And you see how fast that snapped down? That's that stop run that we were looking for a beautiful move down. So that gets the objective filled, and that's exactly what we were looking for the market to do. Now, I took my profit ahead of that low. I'm never a big fan of putting my price target directly on a level, but as you can see here, it looks like a few other traders thought the same thing, but the overall objective is still to test that 68.6. But for us, that's going to do it. So overall, beautiful trade short off the range highs, back cycling down to the range lows. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com, and as always, we'll catch you next time.